Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to start our next topic, which is related to the previous one. As you all know, we have done adjectives, and also we have discussed some of its forms like comparative and superlative. We have discussed that adjectives has mostly three levels. Sometimes we use it in a positive degree, then comparative and superlatives. But today I think we should learn that how we know that when to use comparative degree and when to use superlative degree. So these are two important things to know. So we form comparative and superlative of short adjectives and long adjectives in different ways. अब हमें ये देखना है कि what are short adjectives and what are long adjectives. So short and long depends on the syllables that a word has. अब आपके लिए ये जानना भी ज़रूरी है कि basically what are syllables. So syllables are the divisions of the words. Like sometimes we can divide a word into different parts depending on the sounds it has. जैसे कि अगर हम बात करें adjectives, तो इस adjectives में जो जितनी sounds होंगी उतने syllables होंगे. Like adjectives, you can divide adjectives in three parts depending on the voice distinction. Adjectives, आप उसको जब बोलेंगे तो तीन आवाज़ें आएंगी आपको. सो दीज थ्री पार्ट्स आर कॉल्ड सिलेबल्स. चीपर, जैसे अगर इस वर्ड को देख लें, चीपर, चीपर. सो दिस वर्ड हैज़ टू सिलेबल्स, राइट? So we form comparative and superlative of short adjectives and long adjectives, whether थोड़े अगर syllable होंगे तो उसको हम short adjectives बोलेंगे, and if there are more syllables in a word in an adjective, so then you will call it long adjectives. So take a short word like cheap. So when we form its comparative, we say cheaper, and superlative form is cheapest. If you take a longer word which has more syllables, like a word which you can divide into more parts depending on the sound, like expensive, 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 you can divide this word, this adjective, into three distinct part. कैसे? क्योंकि उसकी sound तीन तरह की है. Expensive. So these are long adjectives, and whenever there is a long adjectives, more syllables than one और टू, जब दो से ज़्यादा syllable होते हैं किसी भी word में, तो फिर वहाँ हम use करते हैं more और most expensive. There we don't add er, like जैसे cheaper में हमने er add किया, cheapest में हमने est add किया. So there should be a question in your mind that when to use er like here and when to use more and most. So whenever there is short adjective which has less syllables, like 2 syllables maximum, like cheap, right? तो उसके साथ आप use करेंगे er, cheap से cheaper or cheapest. But whenever we have more than 2 syllables, like expensive, it's a longer word as compared to cheap, so then you will use more or most to form comparative or superlative, right? Let's move to some more examples. Short and long adjectives. One syllable adjectives like small, nice usually have er or est ending because it has less syllables, less parts. Like when we say your hi-fi is smaller, we don't say here more small or more small. We say your hi-fi is smaller. Small is a word which has less syllables. स्मॉल एक ऐसा एडजेक्टिव है which is smaller, small adjective उसको बोल सकते हैं. So there we can add er or est, like smaller or smallest. This is the nicest color. This room is warmest. So why we have used superlative like est, warmest, nicest? Because they are short adjectives and they have less syllables. But we use more, most before words ending ed. Second thing, when we use more and most, you have to underline here, you should write it down. Sometimes few words are ending with ed. So whenever, like pleased, he is pleased to meet me. So here we can't use er because it's already suffix लगा हुआ है ed. So there we will use most or more. right? We also use more, most with 3-syllable adjectives. Number one, whenever a word is ending with ed, adjective is ending in ed, so then it's superlative and comparative form will be more and most. Number two, if it has more than 2 syllables, like exciting, exciting, it has 3 syllables, then we will use more or most, right? I think it's clear now. This machine is most reliable, more exciting, reliable. It has 3 syllables, that's why we say most reliable. Elegant, elegant. It has 3 syllables. So whenever there are more than 2 syllables, then that word will also take more or most as their comparative or superlative forms, right? Some 2-syllable adjectives have er or est and some have more and most. Look at this information, okay? But whenever there are rules for words or sentences and there are exceptions as well. जहाँ पे रूल्स होते हैं वहाँ पे समटाइम्स कुछ एक्सेप्शंस होती हैं, हमेशा हम हर रूल हर जगह पे अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. सो देर आर सर्टन वर्ड्स who are not longer, who have less syllables but still they take most or more. जैसे हमने ऊपर रूल्स डिस्कस किए हैं कि ज़्यादा लंबा वर्ड होगा या जो वर्ड ज़्यादा सिलेबल्स का होगा या जो जिस वर्ड के आखिर में ईडी आएगा तो वो वर्ड मोर मोस्ट लेगा. लेकिन समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है कि वर्ड इज़ नॉट वेरी लॉन्गर बट स्टिल इट टेक मोस्ट और मोर. या अगर एक वर्ड ईडी से एंड हो रहा है इवन देन वो ईएसटी ले सकता है, यानी कि रूल से हट के भी कुछ एक्सेप्शंस हो जाती हैं समटाइम्स. लेट्स सी कि वो कौन से होते हैं. सो वर्ड्स एंडिंग इन अ कॉन्सोनेंट. कॉन्सोनेंट आपको पता है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम वॉवल्स ऑल द अल्फाबेट्स आर कॉन्सोनेंट्स लाइक वाई. वर्ड्स एंडिंग इन अ कॉन्सोनेंट वाई हैव ई आर और ई एस टी लाइक हैप्पी. हैप्पी के साथ आप देखिए वाई इज़ अ कॉन्सोनेंट, सो हैप्पी के साथ यू विल यूज़ आई ई आर, हैप्पियर और हैप्पीएस्ट, राइट? एग्जाम्पल्स बिजी. Now with busy we don't say most or more, we say busiest, busier, dirty, dirtier, easiest, funnier, happier, heavier, lovely. Some words have er or est or more, most. Like there are some words which are already ending in er like narrower, right? Or narrowest, but still sometimes we use or more narrow or most narrow. Like we can say, हम कह सकते हैं कि नैरो को जब हम सुपरलेटिव या कंपैरेटिव में चेंज करेंगे, नैरो से नैरोर बनेगा और फिर नैरोएस्ट बनेगा. बट वी कैन ऑल्सो से मोर नैरो और मोस्ट नैरो, ठीक है? दीज आर ऑल्सो करेक्ट. सो दीज वर्ड्स आर एक्सेप्शंस, दे कैन बी यूज्ड इन दिस वे एज वेल. द फॉलोइंग वर्ड्स हैव मोर मोस्ट एंडिंग्स. लाइक आप देखें कि इन वर्ड्स के साथ भी आप मोर मोस्ट यूज़ कर सकते हैं, लाइक यूजफुल, more useful or most useful. Words ending in full or less, like जिनके आखिर में full as a suffix आता है, helpful, useful, hopeless, right? So ये भी हमेशा more or most लेंगे. Words ending in ing or ed like boring, willing, annoyed and surprised, they will take more and most. Many others like afraid, certain, like can you use est or er with certain, certainer? No, it's wrong. We say more certain or most certain, correct, more correct or most correct. Clear? Okay, now let's discuss that how we can deal with their spellings. There are some special spelling rules for er and est endings. Whenever we are adding er or est as suffix जो word के last में हम word लगाते हैं उसको suffix बोलते हैं. So what are the rules that we have to follow? er, est, eg, nice, nicer, nicer, nicest, large. So इस तरह से हम करेंगे. Also brave, braver and bravest. brave के साथ आप e, क्योंकि it already has e, so आप we will just add r with braver. Finer, e के बाद आप just r लगाते हैं, double e नहीं लगाते हैं. Y के साथ you always use when a word is ending with Y consonant. So you will use I, E, R. You will not only use E, R, but you have to use I, E, R because Y के बाद आपको I लगाना पड़ेगा. E, R नहीं लगाना होता हमेशा. Sometimes we have to use I, E, R. And when we have to use I, whenever the word is ending with Y, like pretty, prettier. Nice के साथ आपने just nicer लगाया, E, R लगाया, but here a word which is ending with Y, you have used I, E, R. So it's a rule that adjective which is ending with Y, you will use I, E, R with that. Words ending in a single vowel letter, then there we will use double consonants like hot, right? Hotter, hottest, big, bigger, and biggest. Words ending in a single vowel letter, जिसमें एक single vowel आ रहा है, hot, O is a single vowel in this letter, right? Double O या double E नहीं है. So there we will use double T to make comparative. Hotter. आप HOTER नहीं लिख सकते, that will be wrong because reason is because it has only one vowel. Hot में just one vowel which is O. Like big, it has only one vowel I. So to make comparative or superlative, we will double the consonant. हम G को double कर देंगे, bigger. इसी तरह से fitter, sadder, thinner, wet. Clear? So these were the adjectives, comparatives and superlatives of adjectives. Now you have to practice them from your book, take some examples and solve them. Tomorrow we will start learning comparative and superlative forms of adverbs. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.